This goes out to all the single men and single women. Hi, my name is Anita and I'm with Better Love Movement. I want to issue this invitation to you to join us over on Skool. I want to give you a free 30-day trial to Singles Seeking Soulmate, where you can join us in learning all the relationship skills that you're going to need to find and keep the person of your dreams. Just email me today at info@betterlovemovement.com and I will get that invite sent out right to you. Thank you, and I hope to see you soon.
This is a very random time for me to go live, but this is the time I have. And I'm headed from the Beauty Zone Beauty Supply. I need to go to the bank. I'm just out running some errands in between appointments that I have today. So I have now made three reels on this, what should I call it? This abstinence thing that has the men over on my Instagram all up in arms. And it is basically trying to understand, and I know I was a bit facetious. I know I was a bit tongue-in-cheek in the way I did it, but I'm just trying to understand why men today think that a woman saying, hey, I don't know you like that. Like, hey, I don't feel comfortable being sexual with you. Hey, I don't feel comfortable with the sex talk. Hey, I just don't feel comfortable considering I just met you or I just matched with you on a dating app. I don't feel comfortable, having the sexy talk or, the innuendo, and I don't want to sleep with you. I don't know you. And man, when I tell y'all that they are over on Instagram duking it out, the men and the women. And this reel was not meant to divide. It was a genuine question. I had a genuine question, like, why are you all using, thinking that that's some sort of tactic? Why do you believe that, oh, she's making me wait. She didn't make the last guy wait. First of all, how would you know that? Like, that's a real question. How would you know how long it took for her to have sex with the last guy or the guy before that or the guy before that? Now, there are men telling me, and I'm going to believe them. There are men telling me that there are women out here now that have these friends with benefits relationships. They have these situations where they have men, and I'm assuming they're either exes from their past or, just men that they have dated, that these men provide a service for them. So they're getting, their pipes cleaned by these men, and they're out here dating. Okay, so we're gonna assume that that's the truth. I'm gonna take that at face value. Okay, so there are some women out here doing this, which I think is a horrible thing to be doing. Like, why are you having sex with one man, but then you're out here dating other men? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. That's not something that I do or would ever do. So you got that going on, and men feel a way about that. So you're out here sleeping with this guy that you know and that you feel comfortable with, but you're out here dating me and I'm taking you out and paying for dates or what have you. So they feel a way about that. And then there's this belief that depending on the guy, right, depending on who the man is, she won't make him wait. She has a lustful attraction to him. She has a on-site lustful attraction to him, and she will bust it wide open for him. But with you, she don't feel that way about you. So she wants you to take her out. She want to get to know you. She want to go out on several dates and figure all this out. Okay, maybe that's true too. I'm not speaking to either one of those women. I'm talking about women who want something real. They want something genuine. They are not out here sleeping around hoping to find their husband, because that's not how it works. So ladies, let me help you to understand. If you are sleeping with a man that wouldn't make a good husband, that you don't want to be with long term, but you got an itch that he can scratch, you're never going to find your husband. You're never going to find your husband having sex with all the wrong men. That's just not how that works. So I don't even know why your logical mind would think that. That don't make sense, but okay. So, but again, the guys, to me, it's all about a level of discernment, right? It's not just vetting, it is discerning. Discerning is a spiritual practice, is where you let the spirit tell you what's going on with this person. Something is not right about this person. And once you figure that out, you don't need to feel a way about it. You can just say, nope, nope. If a woman said to me, yeah, I'm sleeping with somebody else and I'm out here dating you, I'd be like, no, I'm good, and then that will be that. Like, I don't understand why that type of behavior now puts you in the mindset of everybody's like that. Like, again, we talk a lot about critical thinking on my platform. So now, don't get me wrong. If there was a pattern of that behavior, so if I had run into 5 or 6 or 7 women that were all telling me that, it's, in my humble opinion, it's 2 things. Number one, it's the circle of people that I find myself dating. It's the type of women that I'm finding myself coming across. It could be that you need to get out of that circle of dating pool that you're in. You're in my opinion, an insecurely attached dating pool. That's the other thing. There are a lot of people out here who are in the insecurely attached dating pool and are not even aware of it. And that's why they're having all the problems. They honestly are not aware that they are swimming around in a pool full of insecurely attached people. So that's the first thing you need to check. And then the second thing is, okay, but would I then say, okay, well, all women are like this. Y'all, I got to go to the ATM. All women are like this. The last 5 women I dated, they all told me that they had this guy that was breaking them off. And so all women are like that. I still, as an adult person, I still don't think that's the conclusion I will come to, because, who I am is more or less like, where am I in this equation? If I'm continuing to meet these type of women, like, that's just me. I'm going to take responsibility and be accountable at every turn. I'm going to ask myself, okay, what is it about these type of women? Like, I continue to attract these type of women. I continue to find myself going out and dating these type of women. That's what that would make me do. I still wouldn't say, every woman is like this. I wouldn't come to that conclusion, but that's me. I'm a critical thinker by nature. And I would say, okay, I need to make a change. I need to change my dating pool. I need to change my dating circle, because if the last 5 women that I went out with and they all told me, yeah, my ex slide through every now and again, my ex tightens me up every now and again, or whatever, if I got that impression, I would question my ability to choose a moral, securely attached woman. That's just me. But anyway, so we have a lot of theorizing online, and I want you to keep that in mind. There are a lot of young people, and when I mean young, I mean under the age of 40. Okay, so I'm 57. You got a lot of people between 20 and 40 that, in my humble opinion, they haven't lived long enough to have real life experience. They are theorizing. They are taking an educated guess. They don't have enough life experience to say, this is what I've noticed, this is what I've seen, these are the patterns that I've seen over time. And I'm talking years. So I've been alive 57 years. Okay? And so when I hear somebody in their 30s or their 20s, it's like a theory. Yes, you came across one person or you came across 2 people. That, in my humble opinion, doesn't make it so. So there's a lot of theorizing, just like men saying, well, she gave it up to the last guy quicker, or she didn't make the last guy. How do you know that? Like, that's a real question. How do you know that, bruh? That is you taking an educated guess. That is you being frustrated. That is you being upset because you're not getting sex and you've taken this woman out for 3 dates. That's all that is. That's not a fact. That is you in your feelings. That's all that's happening. You're in your feelings, and you feel a way that, oh my gosh, we've been out 3 times and we talked on the phone 3 times and she's not giving it to me. Okay, that's what's happening. So that's a real question that I ask men. How do you know that she gave it up to the last guy on the first night? And the truth is, they don't know, right? Can we be honest? They don't know. They are just theorizing, or they are just upset that they didn't get it. So they're making up all these stories, or they're hearing these stories online. Y'all, I'm going to see if this salon is open because I got to talk to this girl. I got to talk to this girl about my crochet. That's what's happening. Then we find out that the men say, well, you don't have no right to abstain because you're not a virgin. What are you abstaining for? Because I want to? Because I feel like it? Because it's my body? It's my, constitutional right? Like, huh? No, you don't, if you've had sex before, if you've had a child before, then you don't have no right to abstain. Really? Okay. Tell me. I don't have no right to abstain from having sex. I can't at any point in life. That's like me shooting up heroin for 10 years and coming to myself and saying, you know what? I don't want to do this no more. I don't want to smoke weed. I don't want to get high no more. I don't want to shoot up no more. And when I finally decide to become sober, now I got all these people coming out the woodwork. Well, you've been doing it. You've been doing it. Why you stop now? And you did it before. Well, what? What is the logic in that? And then two, I need you to keep in mind that you're talking to a Christian. You're talking to a devout Christ follower. You're talking to a believer. So there are faith-based reasons to abstain. That when you finally get your life together and you come to Christ, okay, and you decide that, hey, I actually want to live for God. What is the first thing he tells us? A whole lot of things, but one of the things he tells us, if we're not married, we shouldn't be having sex outside of marriage. So maybe that's the reason. I've decided to actually live the way God wants me to live. I've decided to be obedient to my Lord and Savior. And y'all got a problem with that. Now that's just a tactic. That's just fake. That's just y'all saying this and doing that. And again, of course, here's what I'm going to say, gentlemen. I'm going to be real with y'all. I understand why you upset, because this type of stance don't make you feel good. This type of stance don't give you what you want. This type of stance doesn't benefit you in the least. Okay? Other than your soul. It benefits your soul. But see, y'all not interested in that. You're not interested in the fact that I'm not helping send you to hell. Right? So when I abstain from sleeping with you, and I don't submit to the Jezebel spirit, because when I'm sleeping with you, this is what a lot of men don't realize. When I'm giving you sex and I'm sleeping with you, I'm sending you to hell. That's the Jezebel spirit raising up inside of me. I don't care. I don't give a darn about the rest of your existence. I am actively on the road to hell with you. That's what I'm doing. But y'all don't care nothing about that, right? You don't care nothing about that. So, of course, I get why men are riled up. Because honestly, if Anita had the power, if I had the power, this is what I would do. Look, this is what I would do. So I have to put it in some place where 90% of people go. So it will be in social media. I will put it in all the social media platforms. And I would make it so that every time a woman logged onto a social media platform, she got this mind altering, this mind changing thing happen. And it basically shut all women down to close, and make all women close their legs. So they would go on social media, they get this little sound or whatever, I don't know, whatever it would be. But it would subconsciously send them the message to stop having sex. Stop having sex, right? And every woman just shut it down. And I mean, y'all would lose y'all mind. So OnlyFans women, stop making OnlyFans content. Porn women, stop making porn. Regular women, stop sleeping with y'all. Everybody be shut down. And y'all would lose your ever-loving mind. Because again, this message is not popular because it does not benefit you. I get it. I totally get it. Like I said, I'm a logical, rational person. I understand why men are not going to support this argument because it does not benefit them. It does not make them feel good. It does not meet them in their sin. That's what most men want. Take me to hell. Okay. But that is your flesh. That is not your spirit man. That's your fleshly man saying that. Then I had a gentleman say, well, when women don't sleep with us, we feel bad. How do we know that they like us? So now you're telling me that your self-esteem is tied to whether a woman has sex with you. Like, you giving me all the secrets. You giving all the secrets away. So now you don't feel good about yourself because women are not having sex with you. That's what you're saying. Well, that's how we know she don't like us. That's how we know she ain't into us. Baby, please help me to understand what other ways can a woman show you, express to you that she likes you without having sex with you? That was my third reel. And that's a real question. So I'm going to wait a couple days and I'm going to go back and see what the answers are. And I'm going to tell y'all right now, if there ain't many answers, then that's on y'all, gentlemen. Because that was a real question. What can a woman do to show genuine interest in you that isn't sexual or physically intimate? Okay? And I'm not talking about a hug or a kiss. I'm talking about anything beyond a hug or a kiss. Right? That's it. That's all you're going to get. You might get a hug, you might get a kiss, but you're not going to get anything else. Can that woman still be into you? Can she still like you? Can she still have genuine interest in you? That's a real question. And of course, the comments were full of men saying, men will not wait. Men will not wait. And you know what? I'm not even going to push back because they're not wrong. The majority of men in this worldly, degenerate, immoral society that we live in, they won't wait. And it is, if I'm being honest, it's primarily a Western thing because there are other countries where, no, that's just not happening. The women are still very much like, I'm not sleeping with you unless you're my husband. So, it's primarily a Western thing. And what's so crazy is 50 or 60 short years ago, it didn't used to be that way. Even here in the West, women were like, I'm not sleeping with you unless you're my husband. Like, we knew the power of our sex. We knew that 95% of the negative consequences of sex would fall on us. Like, we knew. We understood that. But with the advent of the birth control pill and the hookup culture and feminism and all of that, now our brains have been completely rewired to think that isn't a true statement. It still very much is a true statement. Even in 2025, 95% of the negative consequences from having sex fall on the woman. That is still true. Because here's what I have seen lately, that sometimes the birth control pill fails. Sometimes condoms fail. The diseases that are going on right now and all of the emotional consequences, all of the mental health consequences. I mean, we still suffer grave consequences from having casual sex, uncommitted sex, sex with people that we don't love and that don't love us. A lot of problems, a lot of the world's problems right now are directly related to sex and the misuse of sex. Because sex in and of itself is not bad. It's not wrong. It is actually created by God. Sex is one of the most amazing, beautiful things that he gave us. But he gave it to us in a way that was safe. He gave it to us in a way that if we utilized it in the container that he gave it to us in, it's amazing. It's fantastic. It's the best thing that could ever happen to you. But what does man do? Man continues to abuse the thing that God gave him. And he keeps pushing the envelope and pushing the envelope and pushing the envelope. And so here we are. Here we are. Think of all the ways that we abuse sex. We have sexual abuse. We have rape. We have pornography. We have OnlyFans. So many things. Incest, bestiality. We're just pushing the envelope. At every turn, we're just pushing the envelope. We sticking things into places that ain't nothing supposed to be stuck into. like, what are you doing? It's like, let me put it in your ear. Let me put it in your mouth. Let me put it in your butt. Let me put it here. Let me put it there. Let me put it. Y'all just sticking it wherever, knowing good and well it ain't meant to be stuck there. That's how wild it is. It's wild. So we need to return to God. My God, every day, y'all don't understand. Every day I wake up and I pray for society. I pray for the country. I pray for our people. I pray for men. I pray for women. We have got to wake up. We have to return to some sense of morality. We're right back in Noah's day. We're right back. And it's like we've learned absolutely nothing. Right back in Noah's day, right back in Sodom and Gomorrah, right back in all these other times where God was like, you know what, let me just send some water. Let me just get rid of all y'all. Let me try again. Let me start again. Let me send some water. Let me send some fire. Let me send something. Because they just don't learn. And y'all just pushing that envelope over and over and over. You got pedophiles, and every way you could seek to abuse sex, we have done it. We have done it. But the fact that we're trying to normalize sex without love. We're trying to normalize sex without commitment. We're trying to normalize sex without marriage. We have truly normalized it. Like, there are channels, I'm telling y'all, there are YouTube channels where the man says, yeah, a man is not going to enter into any form of relationship with a woman without sex. He straight up said it. That is the expectation today. We have normalized it. We've normalized pornography. We've normalized OnlyFans. And look, this is the wildest thing about it. Do y'all realize that 40 short years ago, let's see, I'm 57. Yep, so it's about 40 years ago. 40 years ago, if you wanted to watch some dirty movies, you had to go into this little shop, and it was real seedy. Like, it was not in a good part of town. It was real seedy. But you had to go into this little shop that was real seedy, or you had to go into like a video store, and then in the back of the store, where they had a little curtain, you had to go in there. Very shameful. Very, very shameful. It was not out in the open. It was not in the windows. It was not on the sides of buses and on billboards and no. People knew it existed. But it was real seedy. It was real hidden. Right? And you had to go to them shops and rent it or buy it, or you had to get it through mail order. And guess what? When it came in mail order, it was just a plain brown wrapper. They didn't put on the thing, this is what's in here. Just a plain brown package, just a plain brown wrapper. Because we understood that this was not something that you just put out there for everybody to see. We knew that. We knew that this was not appropriate. The reason why they call private parts is because they're private. Okay? Your private parts are private. They're for you to look at when you bathe yourself. But when women are going out here showing their private parts, it is no longer private. It is public parts. And it's completely unacceptable. So, yeah, you could not, like, this whole OnlyFans thing that we're seeing now, where every other day a woman is posting about how she had sex with 500 men. Oh, no. That didn't exist 40 years ago. 40 short years ago. That was unheard of. That a woman would publicly proclaim online, publicly, I had sex with 500 men. That was unheard of. And then look, said woman ends up in the hospital because that's not how the human body works. Like, you are physically abusing your female body to do this stuff. But she actually got some crazy men out here thinking this is how women are. This is what every woman does. And I'm going to be frank with y'all. I blame it on pornography. I blame it on OnlyFans. I blame it on social media. I blame it on a lot of things. I blame it on sin. Because, gentlemen, I'm just like I said, consider me auntie, consider me mama for some of y'all. This is not most women. That is not most women. You're not going to sit here and have me believe. Now, maybe you've been indoctrinated into believing that this is what most women are doing. It's not. Most women are not having 2 men in a week, much less 500 men in a day. Most women are not having 2 men in a month. So you have to really hear that, right? You have to really, really hear that. You are being brainwashed. You're being indoctrinated into thinking that these women in these movies and the things that the men are doing to them, y'all really think that women like that women are like that. And I'm like, no, I don't want to be slapped. I don't want to be spit on. I don't want you skeeting on my face or any, I don't want any of that. I don't want any of that. None of that is it's not even sex in my opinion. It's disgusting. But y'all really believe that this is normal. We have normalized this. We are publicly putting this stuff out here, making all these videos about these women and all their crazy antics. That's why they keep doing it. They keep upping the ante because we keep talking about it. What do they say about women and the drug of attention? Yeah, attention is a hell of a drug, especially to women. And what do y'all do? Give them more attention? Oh, all these Instagram baddies. Okay, but y'all like their photos. You look at their photos. You heart it. You put fire emojis. And I mean, you're playing right into it. What do you think is going to happen? So just understand that, yes, you may have come across 1 or 2 women, 3 women. That is still not most women. That is still not most women. I'm sorry. Most women are healthy. Most women are wounded, and they've been hurt. They've been traumatized, especially if they come from broken homes and they've been sexually abused. It is estimated like 3 out of 4 or 2 out of 4. The 1 out of 3. It's something crazy. I don't even know the statistic right now, but some crazy statistic that says women have been sexually abused as children more often than not. So if we have issues, that's why. Like, anything that happens to us before the age of 18 is not our fault. Do you understand that? It is not our fault. Anything that happens to you before the age of 18 is not your fault. But we've turned this thing on its head. And it's actually got men out here losing their mind. It's really sad. It's really sad. And women are losing their mind. I could make this whole video about women and how they need to all put their clothes on and close their legs. I think 80% of the world's problem, that's why I've always said this, and my opinion can be swayed, but I've always said this, that if women put clothes on and close their legs, 80% of the world's problems would stop. And I still believe that. Do I believe that men are the leaders? Yes. Do I believe that they should take the reins? Should they lead the change that we need to see? Yes. But because of all of these things that I've already spoken, I just think men are too weak. I think they've been declawed and defanged. I think men have been castrated. Can I say this? I don't know if they have it in them. I don't know if today's men have it in them to really lead in this area. So when I do see a healthy Christian man, a real Christian man who's abstaining, who's courting someone for marriage, who's trying to live godly, I am impressed because it's rare. We're talking about 2% of men, if that. And then I had someone say, well, women don't like those men. Women are not attracted to men who are abstaining. Again, those are broken women. Those are broken, insecurely attached, unhealthy women. Normal women want a man who is sexually disciplined. They also want a man who's funny. They also want a man who's fit. They also want a man who goes out and is ambitious and, provides for his family and has goals and vision. That's not the only thing they want. There's other things that they want. But this whole, y'all don't like those guys. You think those guys are corny. Okay, I got to look at y'all's comments because I've been talking. And then I'm going to run in here. Okay. Manny Miki says, glad you're making a video on this, Anita. I was fighting in your comments all day yesterday. I saw you. Oh, Lord. I don't even. Look, when men put something ridiculous in the comments and then I respond, after that, I'm done. You get one response out of me. One. And then look, I let them have the last word. I let them have the last stupid word. Then I'll go on about my day. Cam Goa 46, I have because it creates a more solid interaction with women. Good. I told a woman that a sexual experience with me is more rare than the average woman my age. It's wild out here. And there are many reasons for men and women to abstain. There's unwanted pregnancy. There's unwanted STIs. There are many, many reasons for you to abstain. But my God, if you tell men that, they lose their mind. They want to take all the chances in the world, honey. They want the STIs. They want the babies and the child support. They want the soul ties. They want to take all the chances in the world, not me. She said, I remember those days, just being me 100. Yeah, when pornography was not, it was a dirty little secret, honey. Dirty little secret. Why can't we go back to that? And look, ain't nobody saying you can't do it, but why is it everywhere? Why do everybody got to know about it? If that's your thing, okay, let that be your dirty little secret, but it's everywhere. It is absolutely everywhere. Brianne Nicole says, men complain about whores, but engage in behavior that creates them. Ding, ding, ding. I can't make this up. And look, when I say that very logical statement, well, see what you said. It don't make sense. And it's what I call, ladies, the spirit of confusion. The spirit of confusion is alive and well in men and women. The spirit of confusion ain't just a man thing. It's a woman thing too. Because like I said, any woman that's telling me, oh, Anita, I want my husband and I want to be with the man who would be my husband, and she out here getting tightened up by her ex, she the same problem. Block writers TM. Okay. At Brianne Nicole, men are not raping females. Females don't see the point in being married, so they don't save anything for it. Again, I'm not disagreeing. These women are consensually having sex with men, and it does need to stop. I agree. And what's up with women wanting to be choked now? Yeah, you got me. You got me on that one. Because like I said, it's just so many things, so many dirty, nasty, disgusting things. And they're calling it sex. They're calling it lovemaking. It's just crazy to me. Man, God. At Block Writers TM, some women stop putting all women in the same category and go heal. Where he didn't even use the word woman, he used the word female. So you know what that means. Correct, 90%. Yes. Also, if you as a man keep coming across whores, you need to do some self-reflection. Don't put all women in the same category. Now, I agree with that. And most men are not going to, they're very defensive about that. They will not self-reflect. They will not say, the last 4 women that I took on dates, they were having sex with their exes, right? They won't self-reflect. They won't say, okay, what can I do to change that? What's going on here? either where I'm meeting them, how I'm choosing them. And I mean, I had a close male friend where I was giving him instruction on how to choose a good girl, and he went against everything I told him. And he kept ending up with the same types of women. And I was like, okay, well, you don't want to listen. I was showing him, based on my discernment, based on my spiritual knowledge, and just based on my experience as a woman. And he wouldn't listen. Oh, it's not that bad. Oh, I could give her a chance. Oh, it's probably this. Oh, it's right. Like, he was making every excuse up in the book why I was wrong. But yet he kept meeting these traumatized, severely like broken women. And I was like, okay, you want to be Captain Save-A-Ho, you want this, you want to save these women. So I'm going to step away. But yeah, I agree. I self-reflect. If I'm going to give y'all a question. This for the ladies. You ready? I'm going to give y'all a question. And I asked the man this, and then this just shut the whole thing down. So let's say, let's say you meet a man on an app, or you meet a man through social media. And let's say y'all talk on the phone or y'all texting. Let's say the second time that y'all talk on the phone or y'all texting, he start up with the sexual innuendo. So he start up with the, oh, what's up with you? And it might be cobwebs growing down there. How long has it been? And blah, 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 right? So he start with the sexual innuendo. Ladies, listen up. This is what I want you to do. This is the question I want you to ask him. Well, I'm curious. What is it about me that made you ask me that? What is it about me that made you go there? Like, what is it? What vibe am I giving off? Or what is it about me that's making you feel comfortable to ask me that question? Or is making you feel comfortable to talk in such a way to me? I want you to use that question. Like, really try to grow through that experience. Because who knows, maybe there is something you're giving off. Maybe there is an energy or something you're giving off that is giving him this green light to talk to you crazy. Now, maybe it's not, because some men out here, like I said, I'm Mother Teresa. And they, it don't happen often, but they will try me. They will try me. So I know it's not me, because I'm Mother Teresa. I ain't out here showing, I ain't got no cleavage. I ain't got on no tight, booty shorts. I ain't doing none of that, y'all. I ain't doing none of that. I don't even let men cuss around me. So it's some wild boys out here. It's some wild men out here that's just like, they're oblivious, right? They're oblivious to my energy. They've already made up their mind that this is what they're going to say, and then they say it. So, that could be true too. But just ask that question. So what is it about me that's making you feel comfortable enough to ask me this? What is it about me that's, making you lead with this type of energy? Just ask it. She said, women need to abstain simply because what we are doing isn't working. Nope. A lot of women go from boyfriend to boyfriend, never ending up married. Agreed. I agree, at Brienne Nicole, we definitely need to abstain. Yeah, I agree with you. And I think that'll solve 80% of the world's problems. If women just shut down the sexual freeness and, all of that, if they just shut it all down, the men would lose their minds. And initially, they would think, okay, well, fine. We don't need y'all anyway. Fine. And then after 2 weeks, they'd be blowing up the whole world. But I agree. I think that's definitely what we need to do. Journey to be 3. Okay. Journey to beast mode. I think that's what it is. How can we change that though? Tell me how to choose the good girl. Because here in Philly, it seems like no guy I know can find someone that's not sleeping with an ex or friends with benefits, which happens more with exes. Yeah. Oh, friends with benefits happens more than exes. Wow. It is possible, sir. I'm happy to show you. I have many videos on my platform. Some of the things I'm going to tell you, again, men immediately, they poo-poo it. They poo-poo it, and then they get in these situations. They're like, dang, I'm right back where Anita said I was going to be. Yeah, you poo-poo the things I'm telling you, right? Taking your time, going slow. It's actually a red flag if a woman sleeps with you quickly. there's a high probability that the woman has borderline personality disorder. See, this is what mothers and grandmothers and mental health professionals are not telling men. A woman who will go to bed with you on the first night is a huge, huge no-no. That's a woman who has nothing to lose. Okay? That's a woman who has nothing to lose. That's a woman who is traumatized. That's a woman who might have sexual abuse in her past. So all the things I tell men to look for and listen out for, any form of sexual abuse or trauma, not going to any type of professional to deal with it, relationship or lack of with mother or father. All right. A woman who is covered in tattoos. Y'all hate that, but it is the truth. A woman who will deface her body. Okay. Who's covered in tattoos, covered in piercings. A woman who is not traditional looking, right? So if she's got pink hair, purple hair, y'all hate this. You hate when I say this. You don't want to believe it, and then you keep ending up with the same women over and over and over again. Okay? A woman with feminist ideology. A woman who doesn't want to have children. A woman who doesn't want to be married. They're clear signs that these women are left-leaning, therefore they are sexually promiscuous. Because that is the feminist starter pack. Okay? The morning after pill, the having Planned Parenthood on speed dial. Okay? All of these defacing their body and all this other. No, look for traditional, quiet, unassuming women. Okay? Be desirable. that will help. Being a desirable man will help. But there are lots of ways. These women have daddy issues, mommy issues, and yeah, they're giving it up to you on the first night, giving you head on the first night. That's a woman with nothing to lose. So please just pay attention. She said, I will keep that in mind. Men are usually only like that because they find out she's sleeping with other men. That's not them while they're putting in effort. Okay. But y'all, there is a way. And look, can we be real? The good girls are boring. The good girls are boring. They're not, making your nervous system fire up. They're not burning your loins up. The good girls are actually kind of boring. And they need, to get out and have adventures and do something with their life. But yeah, the hoes are exciting. Wow, no, that makes sense. Okay, thank you. But how can you tell if you're just the guy she's not sleeping with, though? In my humble opinion, you are going, and see, this is the part, I'm going to be real. This is the part that most men, y'all are just not going to put forth this much effort. But things like talking to her at certain times of the night, talking to her at certain times of the morning. Like, I want you to pay attention to all of this. Women pay attention to all of that. I pay attention to the times that dudes call me at night. So if I'm getting calls around 8 or 9 at night and I don't hear from them again, like, okay, because even if a man called me at 11 and he's at home, or he FaceTimes me at 11, okay, he's at home. But just pay attention to little things. They're like little signs that she's not where she's supposed to be. Keep in mind who her friends are. That's a huge one. I always tell men, who is this woman's friends and what are they doing? And the biggest red flag of all, she got friends that's out here in the streets doing all this other stuff. But oh, not her. That's unlikely. Look at this woman. Look at her friends. Look at her family. If she's a mother, look at how she parents her child. Look at how consistent she is. And what type of mother is she? How does she take care of her child? Is she inconsistent? Does she have the child out all hours of the night? Those things matter. It's like little things that men, can I be real? Y'all's brain is not wired to detect the nuances. Y'all's brain is not wired to detect the details. So I think that's why it goes over your head. because these are the things that are going to tell you who the person really is. And remember, you're looking for character, not just chemistry. You're looking for character. You're looking for true compatibility. And what I encourage a lot of men to do is try to trigger her. Like, actually try to trigger her. Say something triggering and see how she responds to it. That's a fast way. Because a lot of y'all are not patient. A lot of men are not patient enough to really do what I'm instructing them to do. I say, okay, well, we're going to speed up this process by talking about things that I know will trigger most women. So say something triggering and say, yeah, I'm just curious what you think about blah, blah, blah. And then just see what happens. And I'm not talking about stupid stuff like, what do you bring to the table and what's your body count? Don't ask that dumb stuff. Don't ask that stuff. Ask other questions about, things that liberals, that they just feel like, ask them about leading and about faith. That's another one. A lot of men don't want to believe this, but turn to faith. Turn to faith, turn to the church, turn to someone who is active in their church, someone who's actively reading their Bible, someone who's actively going to Bible study, someone who's actively praying. Okay, so not just in word, but in deed. Is that person walking the talk of their faith? So, but y'all don't want to do that. Y'all don't want to go to those places. Never had a moment to watch your live. You make too much sense, honestly. Thank you. I appreciate that. But yes, I coach men all day, every day. All day, every day. And I'm like, seriously, follow my instruction to the letter. I have a male client who's getting married next April. I've been invited to the wedding. And he came out of a horrible relationship and is now in a great relationship. But I was like, I know you're not going to like half the stuff I'm telling you. But remember, I'm about getting results. I'm all about getting results. Females, women, they focus on the process. But as a man, you should be focused on getting results. That's one of the things I like about men. They don't care about the process. They care about getting results. And men should want results. So they push back. Oh, well, the piercing isn't bad, or, oh, that means she's creative. No, just say pass. If she has this little septum ring in her nose, that's a no. That's a no. If she has any other color hair than the color of hair growing out of her head, that's a no. like, I can't make this up. If she's covered in tattoos all over and all this, she's willing to deface her body, that's a no. If she's willing to get surgery all over her body, that's a no. Why would you want a woman completely surgically altered? That says something about her. There's something deeper going on. Okay? So you're hitting everything I've seen. I pay attention to detail, but I grew up with no father and a tyrannical mother. Oh, Lord. So I grew up over compromise. Oh, yeah. That mama, that did you in. That did you in. But you have boundaries and you have standards. Everyone should. That too is hurting men today. The fact that they have no boundaries and no standards. Please have boundaries. Please have standards. Please believe that your life force, that your sexuality has value. And you shouldn't be out here giving it to just anybody. You should have something to lose. So the fact that men are out here putting their little wee-wee in everything, they move and feeling like somebody, oh, I'm getting all the feminine life force, and oh, my self-esteem is so high because all these women want to sleep with me. So make this make sense. A bunch of broken, sexually abused, traumatized, personality disordered, insecurely attached women give you access to their vagina, and that somehow makes you feel better about yourself. Not one quality woman, but a string of messed up women. That don't make no sense. For me, my trauma led me to being hypersexual, so that's one of my own battles I'm still trying to get past. Yeah, because men, that's how y'all get y'all self-esteem. That's how y'all, distract yourself. That's how you numb yourself from your pain, is through sex and through women. But it is an emotionally mature, godly man. Once you get God into the situation, once you have him take that off your flesh, once you have them take that out of your heart and out of your system, and you get filled up with God. You believe what God says about you. Can't no broken woman get into that space again. Men also need to practice sexual discipline. Agreed. Agreed. And that's why, when I'm with my male, content creators, whenever I'm with my male content creators and they're like, yeah, men need to lead the charge and men need to change things and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't know if they can. Like, I don't know. These men today are weak. They have been declawed, defanged, they've been castrated. I don't know if they can. I don't. And that's why I say maybe the women shut it down, stop having sex with them, cover up, get their group of girls, go on their trips and, get their pet and, focus on themselves. Maybe that'll do it. Because I don't know. I don't know if men can. I don't know. You said a word. Thank you. So this what I'm going to say, and I'm going to leave off with this. It is all about critical thinking. And if you cannot critically think, right? If you cannot critically think, if you cannot self-reflect, right? Use the brain that God gave you. You could have run into 3 women and they were similar women. But the first thing you do is self-reflect. It is a weak person that says, all women are like this. All women are hoes. All women are sleeping with their exes. No, that's a weak-minded person. You go inside of yourself and say, okay, I have met 3 women in a row that have been guilty of this. Okay, number 1. So I go through a little mathematical process. Where did I meet them? What state of mind was I in? Right? I just go through that mathematical process because I have to be a part of that equation. It is a weak, childish person that thinks that these type of things just happen. That's why you can't change your life, because you think life is happening to you, and it is not. You are very much creating everything that happens in your life. You're creating it with your thoughts. You're creating it with your feelings. You're creating it with your patterns. Okay? So if I'm steady on the dating app, and I keep meeting women covered in tattoos, women with pink hair, women with fake hair, women with fake lashes and fake butts. And okay, that would say to me, I need to go away from that. Like, I need to stay away from that. Because the app is full of those type of women. Maybe I should go to church. Maybe I should go to these singles events. Maybe I should go to this restaurant. Maybe I should go here. Maybe I should go. Like, why do you keep going to the place that keeps dishing up these type of people? But see, humans don't do that. They immediately project out. They immediately blame out. All women are like this. All women are sleeping with their ex. All women are this. No. Even I know better than that. There are a lot of broken men. But are all of them broken? No. I know lots of great men. And that's why I make these videos. That's why I get so disappointed, because I'm like, y'all are better than this. You're better than this. Like, I don't even believe some of the men that I'm coming across. It is so counter to what I'm used to, right? I mean, I'm just so used to strong men. I'm so used to men that are like, I ain't being with her. Shorty is jacked up. I ain't being with so-and-so. I ain't going over there. She trying to trap a dude or blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm used to strong men. So when I come across these weak, castrated men, I'm not even sure what to do. I'm not sure what to do, y'all. I be looking like, how did we get here? Y'all are better than this. You're better than this. So yeah, I don't understand it. I've had men turn me down. I appreciate them. Please do. I'm hypersexual, but I've always dated with intent. So while I messed around while single, I've always preferred to put that hyper energy on my lady. Okay. Say yes to heaven. Definitely weak-minded. Yeah. I just don't understand it. I don't understand. How did we get here? And it's like, the drive that a man has. Y'all do know sexual energy is creative energy. That's how we get everything done, is we take that sexual energy and transmute it into creating something, into inventing something, into businesses, into books, into this, into that. Like, that's how we get things done. But here's the thing. It's like so much of our world is so cookie cutter. And then AI is coming along. People don't even want to use their brain. They like, Chat GPT. What should I write about? Like, whoa. They don't even want to use their brain anymore. So that's how lazy we become. She said, facts, yes. Yep, it is. Yeah, I just don't get it. My opinion of men has always been high. And it's like in the last probably 10 years, it's just gone, ooh. Like, it's just gone down, y'all. I've always thought the most of men. And it's just like, okay. But you know what? I know for sure that for every one man I come across that is weak, that has been castrated, that is addicted to porn or, red pilled or whatever, there's got to be one or two that are not. Now, they're not online. This is what I keep telling women. You're not going to find those men online. He said, you'd be surprised how many people couldn't word what you've just said, what you've said. There's a letter missing somewhere. Okay. But yeah, they're out here, but they are few and far between. They're few and far between. And so you have to be incredibly intentional. And ladies, I do want you to abstain. I think that is how you're going to find a decent guy, is if you abstain. You don't have to say anything about it. This is the other thing I keep telling women. Stop leading with that. Stop announcing that you're abstaining. Okay? The only way men know that I'm abstaining is because of my channel. And I don't date men that watch my content. I don't date men that watch my YouTube videos. I don't date men that come into my Instagram DMs. I don't date them. So all of the other men that I've been on dates with that don't know anything about what I do, don't know anything about my channel, we just sit across the table. We just go out to bowl. We just go to a movie. We just go do things. And at some point, they're like, hey, so, like, and I'm like, can I help you? And usually what shuts them down is the topic of marriage. But I don't lead with that. You don't have to lead with that. You don't have to wear a banner on your head that says, I'm abstaining until marriage. You don't have to do that. You just go about your business, right? You just keep that to yourself. You go about your business. You do you. And at some point, someone will be interested in you. And at some point, that topic of conversation will come up. And you'll have a conversation about it. But what irritates me is women leading with it now. They're leading with it. And yes, it's coming off gimmicky. It's coming off like a talking point. It is coming off. I agree with the men. It's coming off weird. Like, stop doing that. Just go out, go on dates, get to know that person, talk on the phone and text. And eventually it will, like, hey, so I'm feeling you. You feeling me? Blah, blah, blah. Like at some point it will come up. And it's like, yeah, I want to make sure that I feel safe. I want to make sure that we know each other. I want to make sure we're on the same page. I want to make sure that we're compatible. I want to make sure you're not crazy, right? I want to make sure, and that's the conversation I have. I want to know you better. I want to genuinely know you. I want to genuinely believe this is going to be something. Why can't you say that? Like, why can't you say that? To me, sex should come when you feel safe, you feel comfortable, you know this person, you definitely know their STI status. Like, y'all are out here jumping into bed with people that you don't even know what they got. And you think a condom, you think a thin sheath of rubber is going to save you from the H, the I, and the V, or the A, the I, the D, and the S, or the S, the H, the S, and the V. Like, you think that little sheath of rubber is going to protect you. It isn't. Or even the pregnancy. That little sheath of rubber comes off of you, and she's not on any form of birth control, and there you go. So it's mind altering that y'all want to jump into bed with strangers. Remember, I came up during the AIDS epidemic. I was a teenager when the AIDS epidemic got going, and then I was going off to college, and I kid you not, I was like, nah, bro, no, I'm good. Like, I'm good, bro. You sexy and all. Like, you look good and all, like, but I don't know you like that. And I was like, you want to go to the clinic or, and even then, going to the clinic was 3 months in, 4 months, 6 months in. I still don't know you. So that's all I'm saying. Couldn't make the perspectives you've explained understandably. Okay, thank you. I noticed once I changed my vibe and became more sexually disciplined, guys that only want to hook up won't talk to me. See, there you go. They know which women will give it up ASAP within a few minutes. There you go. Dang, I got to get to class. Okay. Have a great day. Thank you for interacting. Thank you for joining us. Journey to Beast Mode. Thank you. But yes, I'll be honest with you. My phone got real dry once I got more devout in my faith walk. My phone got dry. And then you know what really scares men away? And I had a friend of mine ask me this the other day. What is it, Anita? What is it? Why are you not in a relationship? Why are you? I said, because I require marriage. So that's the biggest turnoff to men my age. And by men my age, I mean men around 45 to 60. So 45 to 60, I might go as young as 40. But men my age, they have been married before, a lot of them multiple times, and they are not interested in remarrying. That is a deal breaker for them, and it's a deal breaker for me. So that's the number one thing. And it's not even the abstinence, y'all. There are men out there that are like, yeah, I'll wait all day for Anita. I'll wait all day for Anita. It's not the abstinence. It's the marriage. That is my relationship requirement. And they don't understand it. They're just like, but you've been married. Your kids are grown. Why do you need marriage? Why do you need marriage? Because God says I need marriage. Remember, I am a Christ follower. Jesus is my Lord and Savior. Not just my Savior. He's my Lord and Savior. So that means whatever he says goes. And he says, Anita, if you want to bust it wide open, you need a husband. So that's the biggest deal breaker for me. Yeah, because it's not as if men don't find me attractive. It's not as if men don't come into my DMs or they don't email me or they don't talk to me in the street. It happens all the time. I am a personable person. I love people. I went to Tampa and I met a gentleman in the bar in the airport, and we were laughing and joking, and then my flight got called, and then I waited a little longer, and then at the last minute, I was like, look, I said, this flight gonna leave without me. He's like, we gotta keep talking. I was like, I gotta go, But it's the marriage. That is the deal breaker. That's what most men, that when we get to that conversation, they're like, oh, no, thank you. No. So, okay. And you know what? I'm never mad. I am never mad. They have every right to not get married. Just like I have every right to want that. I have every right to require that. She said, I would think they would want to get remarried to a high value person. No, there's a lot of fear. And think about it. As long as a person's fear is higher than their faith, it's like you can't get anything done. When a person's fear is higher than their faith, when a person's fear is higher than their interest in me or their love, you can't get anything done. And that's a lot of people. Their fear is higher than their interest in you. Their fear is higher than their interest, their love of you, interest in you, and all of that. As long as that fear is up here. So fear of commitment, fear of divorce, fear of fill in the blank, right? Fear of, the grass is greener or whatever. As long as people's fear is high, yeah, you can't get anywhere. Love that saying, faith versus fear. Yeah. And that's a lot of people. They don't have faith in marriage anymore. They don't have faith in women. Men don't have faith in women. Women don't have faith in men, right? So as long as that fear is high, you can't get anything done. And if y'all don't know nothing about me, I am a fearless woman. I am going to take chances. I've done that my whole life. Like, that's just who I am. That's how I'm built. But I'm finding out that most people are not like that. They're scaredy cats. So she says, I think like will attract like. If you are wanting a man who is practicing abstinence, who is faith-filled and is looking for his wife, you will find you, Anita. I agree. I agree. And here's what I know about God, because I'm always asking God for patience. He's like, oh, I can show you patience. It's like, I can show you patience. Like, it ain't gonna happen overnight, but I can teach you patience. So I'm sure that's a part of it too. And remember, I have to be the version of myself that has that. And I know that's a walk that I'm still on. I have to be the version of myself that has that man. So every day I'm like, okay, so what does that woman look like? What is her fitness like? What is her money like? What is her health like? What is her faith like? I just keep saying that every single day. I have to be that person that man will have, that man like is ready for that man. So I'm constantly doing that work. And I think we all should be. We all should be doing that work. Okay. All right. I'm going in here to the salon real quick because I got to make an appointment in a couple weeks. But y'all, we gotta shut down this conversation. It is, to me, it's not even a conversation that adults over 30 should be having. The fact that men are out here acting entitled to a woman's body, they're acting entitled to a woman's sex and sexuality, that is getting weird. That is getting weird to me. As soon as he finds out, okay, I want casual sex, you don't, go about your business. Go about your business. If you actually want to get to know me and you want something real, stick around a little longer. But if you just trying to get the drawers, go about your business. There's plenty of women out here that'll give it to you. Okay. He said, okay, I'm gone. Losing attention in class now. Roll on the floor. Great content. Appreciate your character. Bye, all. Have a great day. I'm gone too. All right. Have a great day. If you came in on the end, I want you to check me out on YouTube. I want you to consider subscribing on YouTube, and I want you to consider becoming a member. All right. Y'all not going to believe this, but my time limit on Instagram is about to be gone, so I got to leave. But have a great rest of your day. And as always, stay open to love.